What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and as promised, this week I want to give you guys a rundown of the Kifaru Maniml and talk about how I configured this for mobile hunting whitetails out of a saddle setup. Now, I did have the opportunity to test this bag out quite a bit on a recent trip up to northern Michigan, where again we were hunting big tracts of land where dragging out an animal is not ideal. I mean, you'd be much better off to pack it out. Unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to test out the meat shelf, but it did give me a lot of time with this pack. It gave me the ability to test out how I have this pack configured. And right now, I think the way that this is set up, which we will go over here in a minute, is definitely ideal if you are doing any type of saddle hunting. Now, as you can see, this bag is on an external frame, and it also offers quite a bit of storage. I mean, this bag is coming in at roughly 2,200 cubic inches, but at no point did it feel like I was really carrying a heavy backpack, and then also at no point did I feel like the bag got in the way while I was up in the tree in my saddle setup. And I do feel like that has a lot to do with this being on a 22-inch frame, and then also it being on their new carbon fiber arc frame, which drastically reduced the weight when compared to their previous tactical or even their duplex light frame. Now, also keep in mind that this bag does come with the cinch when you buy it, which actually attaches to the front of this pack. Obviously, you can remove it if you're not going to use it. I decided to take it off because that bag does offer you another 750 cubic inches of storage. And for me, my style of hunting, specifically for whitetail, 2,200 cubic inches is more than enough for me to go from early season all the way until the late season and be able to carry all my layers in addition to my saddle platform and sticks. And honestly, that's probably one of the best things that keeps me coming back to Kifaru as a pack manufacturer. And I feel like it really separates them in the industry from other manufacturers, is the fact that not only do they offer extremely high quality gear, it's also extremely durable, but the versatility that you get with these packs and the ability to swap bags out off of your frame. They also give you the ability to customize these packs or tailor them to your specific hunting style by adding various pockets and lids. Like I said, I feel like that is probably one of the biggest selling features that keeps me coming back to them. So I can either run this pack or not run it. I chose to not run it, and then I went ahead and added just 2 belt pouches to the front to again kind of customize this for how I like to organize my mobile hunting setup. Now, real quick, I want to run you guys through how I have this configured for my style of mobile hunting whitetail. And the first thing is that I went with a 22-inch frame versus their 25-inch frame. The main reason that I went that route is because I do already own a duplex tactical frame in a 25-inch. So for this setup, I really wanted to keep this specific for whitetail hunting. The 22-inch frame versus the 25-inch arc frame is all going to be based on what type of load you're carrying. Obviously, a taller frame is going to make carrying elk quarters or heavier loads much more comfortable when compared to the smaller frame. So if you are someone who is looking at buying this pack and you want it to kind of be a do-all for whitetail and then also out west, then I would recommend that you go with a slightly taller frame. The second thing that I did is obviously I did remove the cinch pocket. We kind of already talked about this. I didn't feel like I needed the 750 cubic inches of additional storage because the 22 is plenty for me to go from early season all the way until late season. Now, one thing that I will point out on the cinch is if you are someone who likes to kind of transition from a saddle setup over to like a tree stand, like the Lone Wolf Custom Gear 0.5, this would make an outstanding tree stand bag that you'd be able to sit on the seat shelf of a Lone Wolf Custom Gear tree stand. I had this kind of configured to where I'd be able to attach my bee sticks to the outside of the bag, cinch everything to the stand, and have it very secure so nothing was moving around. I also packed the cinch full, like I had this thing loaded down with all of my late season layers, and then with adding a couple belt pouches to the front, I was able to actually carry in more gear or have more space than I actually needed. So like I said, definitely an outstanding option if you are someone who likes to kind of transition from a saddle to a tree stand setup. Now, the next thing that I did is obviously I added the 2 belt pouches on the front, and again, the reason that I did that was just to add some additional organization. The one thing that this bag does lack lack when compared to the Kifaru Shape Charge, which is probably hands down my all-time favorite whitetail bag, is the organization compartments. But what's really nice about this main pocket is that anything that you dump in here or put into this pocket from the outside, once you get into the tree stand, you can kind of open this up. This will flop open and you'll be able to access anything in there. So it is a pretty slick feature, but like I said, it does lack some of the organization compartments, and that's why I added the two pockets out here. So basically, the bottom pocket, I carry my multi-step aider. It's a 3-step aider through backwoods mobile gear. I carry that in the bottom pocket, and then in this top pocket, I do utilize a Titan strap to hold my sticks to my platform, and then also a small pad to keep the tree bracket from cutting into the backpack. I put both of those products in there, zip them closed before I climb up the tree. Now, the other thing that I did is I did play around with the buckle configuration. Straight out of the box or straight from the manufacturer, these packs are going to come with female or male buckles on the outside. So with the straps, you're going to have male buckles. You'll have 4 of them, and then you're going to have connection points for female buckles on the backpack. And what that's going to allow you to do is basically cinch the bag to the frame when you're not utilizing the full storage capacity. Now, for me, I like to personally carry my platform and sticks on the outside of the bag. So I had some extra straps laying around. So all I did was change out some of these buckles so I could connect a male to a female, and what that does is that allows me to wrap those straps completely around the bag, and that's going to be how I secure my platform and sticks to the actual backpack. Now, in the event that I do get an animal on the ground, I did add another male-female buckle configuration that stays behind the pack. So if I were to get an animal on the ground, basically what I have to do is I have to take these straps here and then connect them to the side of the bag, and that's what's going to allow me to compress that meat to the shelf, and then I'll utilize those other straps and basically run it right through my saddle, platform, and sticks, so I'd be able to carry the meat and then also my platform and sticks on the outside of the bag, so I can make one trip out with a quartered out deer and my mobile hunting setup. And then the last thing that I did is I basically, and I do this pretty much on all my packs, is I do have a designated kill kit, which has my knives, my gloves, my tags. I carry that in here, but this year I also decided to add a possibles pouch. So again, just due to the fact that this has a little bit less storage or organization compartments, I decided to get the possibles pouch. But what's also nice about this is if I transition back over to my shape charge, if I'm hunting an area where, again, dragging out an animal is feasible, then I can just quickly grab my possibles pouch, throw this into my shape charge with my kill kit, and I'm going to have everything that I need to go out on that hunt. So just real quick, wanted to give you guys a rundown on this. I think that this is honestly, if you're looking for a do-all backpack, this is probably hands down one of the nicest packs that I've tested from Kifaru for whitetail hunting in a while. I was a little bit worried about the size going into the hunt, and I purposely left my shape charge at home because I love that bag so much. I knew that I would gravitate towards it, so I left it at home. So it forced me to test out and run this bag. This bag worked out flawlessly. Like I said, at no point did I feel like I was carrying too big of a backpack or too bulky of a backpack. At no point did I feel like the frame got in the way when I was wearing my saddle in. And then, like I said, at no point did it really get in the way when I was in the tree. The only thing that I would do when I got up into the tree is that I would take the belt and basically wrap it around the outside of the pack, and that kind of kept those buckles out of the way, kept them from clinking on my sticks as I was climbing up, and kind of just helped kind of keep everything tight. But that's going to be it for this video. Obviously, if you guys have any questions about this setup, or if you guys want to know anything more about this pack, feel free to reach out to me directly in the comments, reach out to me directly on Instagram. If you guys are looking for a detailed review of the Maniml versus the Shape Charge, let me know. I can work on putting that together and share that with you guys, so then you guys can kind of have a clear understanding of what both of these packs offer. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys have not subscribed, please do so. Your guys' support greatly helps us out, keeps us doing what we're doing. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you guys on the next one.